Spider-Man. Spider-Man is all the rage, right? Look, a lot of people can have multiple Spider-Man figures. Some people, though, don't want to have duplicates. Like with me, I have one Spider-Man you can see back there. It's the red and blue. Sorry, not the red and blue suit. It's the Homecoming suit, the tech suit, right? The Stark suit. I got the Far From Home, the movie promo edition, right? But when the new red and blue suit drops, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be trading out, right? I'm going to be trading out. I'm going to be swapping up to the new. So, guys, if you're a collector and you can only have one Spider-Man figure because you have like my display, I don't really have duplicates, right? Besides Kylo Ren, he's the only duplicate. He's the only duplicate worthy one I got right now. Two different outfits. But Spider-Man, say you're only going with one. Guys, what Spider-Man is the Spider-Man to own right now? Kiko, even on, you can choose pre-order. You can choose pre-order. Anything on pre-order. What's the Spider-Man to go after right now?
So you said go after right now, huh?
Or just you could buy from the past. You could go, collecting backwards, or anything on PO. What do you think is the Spider-Man to have?
Well, here we go. Let me start my influencing right now.
Let's do it.
Let me give you some advice. So I'll tell you definitely the ones not to get. The anti-ox suit is ass. Do not go that
Is
route. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's bad. That's one that I definitely would steer away from. The Gamerverse Iron Spider with the 3 ones, ass. Don't do that one.
Really?
Yeah, because they made way too many of the suits and they just weren't very good. I mean, they look cool, but man, you can't do anything with them. But that's about it. So then you have to ask yourself, what Spider, because there's lots of Spider-Man. Like, what representation do I want? Do I want one from a movie, or do I want one from a game, or do I want one technically from a comic/game? What do I want to go for? So only you can answer that question. So if you're going for your movie Spider-Man, you have 3 great options from No Way Home. If you want the Tom Holland one, yeah, you probably should go that final swing. That's going to be the best looking head sculpt to go with. I mean, looks incredible. Can't wait for that one. If Toby is your guy, once again, the No Way Home one. I think that's going to be the great representation. The Andrew one, I think most people are like, meh, but you can't have, if you're going to have all 3 of them, you can't not have that one. I was talking to Nick about that. So someone in the comments was mentioned up close to about the symbiote suit is going to possibly be the one to get eventually, but we don't know how the material is going to be. So here we go. The Spider-Man to get, the one, I've said this before, the best Spider-Man is the Scarlet Spider. It's by far my favorite.
Okay.
It's the most posable. It's the most forgiving. It is, in my opinion, the coolest look. I just love the way the colors pop. His body definition is so much cooler than all the other ones. He's got those real nice deltoids, and I just love the hoodie. I love the accessories. That's a badass figure right there, and he looks great. And if you can get that one, that's the one I would like. But if you have no tie to it, once again, if that means nothing to you, don't get it. But for posability, accessories, look, that's it. But then you have to ask yourself what you want to do. But for me, if you're asking, it's going to be Scarlet Spider all day long.
Scarlet Spider is an interesting choice, bro. You're a wild card as always. I did not expect that one to be thrown out here. The anti-ox, I'm surprised you say it's ass. I haven't really...
You just can't pose it, man. He's right. Way too tight. And I mean, I think a lot of people liked it because like, oh, this is the closest we're ever going to get to a symbiote, an all black Spidey. But
yeah. Makes sense. Well, Natalie, what do you think? I mean, what's the Spider-Man to own? We got some good options that have been presented so far, and we got some, ones that haven't been actually brought up. But what do you think? I mean, what's the Spider-Man to own?
The Ox Spidey for sure.
The anti-Ox one?
No, it's funny because I had this one. I had the Scarlet Spider, and no, I was just kidding. Please get that off.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave it up.
I had this one, and I sold it. I totally agree. Probably the most posable one that you can get other than the homemade suit one. But for me, it didn't have enough of a nostalgic. It was just one suit that you could maybe wear in a game, but it's really cool. If you like the comics and there was something that you liked.
Yeah, I like Ben Reilly as Spider-Man. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the most unique versions. So you're not going to get a lot more like this unless they do a 2.0, which would really be stupid because it's a Toy Fair exclusive. And I don't know that they've ever done an exclusive and then re-released it in like a main. That would be a dick move. So I sold that one. But for me, I'm going to actually go with Iron Spider.
Ooh.
And
the MCU version, not the video game version. Okay, I was gonna say the video game version's terrible.
No, I'm gonna go with that one. And the reason I say that is because for me, I look at Iron Spider. This suit was in the most versions of the movies that I loved. Infinity War was my original trilogy. And so when I think of MCU Spider-Man, this is what I think of. he ended his MCU and then they fucking brought him back. Like, let the story, I thought they ended it so good. It was a perfect ending to his story. Let him now go be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that nobody knows. Why are you ruining it? It was a perfect ending. So for me, this is the Spider-Man that sums him up. He was the homemade suit, and then he had a little bit of blue. Yeah, there was some black, but he was this Spider-Man for like three movies at least, right? He was even in the most recent one for even a half of a second in the beginning, I think, right? Or was he still in the black one? I don't know.
That's what he was wearing when he went to fight Ock.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm sure Riley, if he was in this, he'd be correcting me right now, but
he would.
So for me, this is probably the Spider to get. That's my opinion. But I gotta say that head sculpt in the new one, I will not sell this one. I've got the Iron Spider. I have the Miles. I really like the Miles from the video game. This one has me torn because I really want that head sculpt. And I love that the neck is showing. There's just that artisan level of realism that you're not going to get from any of the others. I hate that this one has a turtleneck up to his jawline. I really do. If I knew someone who could do a custom and cut that off and make it look more realistic, I would, and I would just keep that. But this one, I think I'm going to end up getting, not the display base, but just because you really can't not have a Tom Holland representation. And I refuse to put a Tom Holland head sculpt on this that his neckline goes all the way up to his earlobes. It looks ridiculous. So I think I have to, just so I can have a Tom Holland head sculpt.
So you're going without the head sculpt?
In my Iron Spider?
Oh, and the Iron Spider. I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like I have to buy this one because I want a Tom Holland head sculpt somewhere over here, but I can't do it on the Iron Spider. So I feel like I'm forced to buy this. They know they got me.
We just have to think too, like we didn't even consider the possibility that they make an artisan of him. Like I did, because they already have an amazing head sculpt here. He has a decent head of hair. I think you could do it. It's not Thor, but look, Spider-Man sells from my knowledge. I mean, as far as what I can see and what, of course, gets views on YouTube, like Spider-Man, people pay attention. People care about their Spider-Man shit. He's a very popular superhero. So they could very easily, this head sculpt's already incredible, but maybe they make another version with an artisan and you have this one. I don't know, but that could be something they do down the line. Maybe it's a fourth film thing. When Spider-Man 4 comes out, they do one. I don't know, right? But
what about Miles? So, and I know this hasn't really been explored by any company, but if they're using, depending on what type of fabric they're using, and I think they're using wool right now. So to make a very short fro, I don't know how difficult it would be from the curling, from the styling, but I feel like they could potentially use a certain textured wool to do that. And especially if you're making it very short, that would be a very easy lift, I think. I would love to see a Miles or a Chadwick Boseman, right? Some form of very short wool style. That would be I don't know, I'm not an artist, but I think that would be an easier lift than trying to do straight hair because it's just poofy. I think like the Hulk, you could probably do it because he looks wild and out of control. Yeah. But no other character would have it would need to be very tame. I would love to see that. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Dude, that's a good one, Natalie. Like Chadwick Artisan.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they could do that right properly.
Yeah, if they could do that properly and update the head sculpt, and then, of course, you've already done the original suit 2.0, do the other suit from the main film, and then make it an artisan. I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, it does tie into what Kiko said, though, about the mask, with Captain America. A lot of people might use the Black Panther, but if you're going to buy the artisan Black Panther, T'Challa, you're going to use the head sculpt, right? I mean, that's just
right.
So... Right. But man, that would be pretty cool, actually. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. And I always wondered if they would do, or since they've announced these, I wondered if they would do any sort of artisan where they introduced, just like with the Hulk, where they had like the power pose top portion of the body. Mm-hmm. What would it look like if they introduced some insane version of your figure, but then they had some things, just like with Joker with the wrists, there's interchangeable posing. That could be an easy addition to artisan. It doesn't just have to be hair. Like how great would it be if you had a Spider-Man that you can put the arm out and it does the curvature of the arm with the web coming out, right? An easy attachable thing. Then it doesn't need to be rooted hair. It can be the additional pieces that makes it artisan and not necessarily the hair.
Yeah, that makes sense. It could be. But guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on this one. I think Spider-Man, look, He's a hot one. People always love Spider-Man, no matter what.
So hot right now.
Dude, so hot. Hansel's so hot right now. That's what Spider-Man's always hot, bro. It doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter if there's films coming out. Spider-Man's a hot commodity, bro. Just always. So even Antioch, bro. And even the what's it called? The Iron Spider from the video game. But that said, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts. Hey, Spider-Man's cool, man. Spider-Man's cool. I like Spider-Man. So we did get a super chat though from Mr. Nick's Collectibles. Thank you so much, bro. He said, do I even need to say my answer to this question? Well, it's the pizza scooter. It's the pizza scooter Toby that doesn't exist. And then that would be Nick's favorite. But I mean, it's got to be Toby for Nick. I mean, clearly. I mean, that figure's waitlisted actually. So it's pretty interesting. Maybe that's another one, Natalie, where, we told people no po at the time, but circumstances have changed. And now we're at the point where it's like, well, you know what? Fucking this Spider-Man, if you want it, like red, I think the red and blue suit is waitlisted too, from my recollection. So I think, these Spider-Men,
right.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Everybody was saying no po, dopo. Like if it's a game changing concept that's being introduced, you have to make your own decision on whether or not you want to do that. Just because someone says, hey, go ahead. Don't worry, that cliff right there is only a couple feet. Go ahead and jump. You've got to take a look first before you actually do it. So you can't blame other people for your own decisions. But I do think heeding and following blindly are different, right? Definitely heed.